What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Doc Favors here. First, I want to say happy Thanksgiving to all of you all. I hope and pray that you all had a great holiday season, spending with time and family around this time of year. It can be really tough if you are alone and, in just a bad place. So I definitely want to lift that up. Also, thank you for those who continue to rock out with your boy and subscribe to the channel. Those of you who are just visiting, if you see something or hear something that impacts you, that gives value to you, then I encourage you to hit that like bell, hit the like button, subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you can be one of the first ones to get this content. So let's get right to this. Today, I want to talk to you all about a serious subject. It could be touchy to some, but y'all know Favors. It don't matter. If it's on my heart to say it, I'm going to share it. And the reason why I want to share this is because many people separate when it comes to their faith and their ability to do business. So the question is, what does God say? What does God say? Now, let me just frame this for you. When I was growing up in Detroit, I really knew when I got my first paycheck from, I think I was delivering newspapers or something. But when I got that first check, I knew that I wanted to be in business. And if you all know anything about the city back in the early mid 80s to 90s, at least up in Detroit and the Midwest, some other places, you could collect the pop bottles, right? Pop bottles, soda bottles or whatnot, the cans and everything. And you could take them back to the store and exchange them, and they give you 10 cents per bottle, right? And I started one of those type of businesses when I was young. I did the newspaper thing. I had a lemonade piece where I was just hustling. I was shoveling snow, raking leaves, trying to cut grass, the whole nine, right? And then when I got to about the age of 14, well, actually at the age of 7, it was prophesied that I would be a preacher by the age of 14. By the age of 14, you all, I was carrying a 32 Smith & Wesson. I was engaged in drinking and things of that nature, because once again, it's the city. I'm not proud of it, but you all got to hear the story. But something happened when I graduated. From then, I was going from the 8th grade to the 9th grade, and I started playing instrument, and I got good at playing trumpet. And so one of the individuals who come on our block would share the gospel with us. We would tease at them sometime, but this one day it was serious, because they actually told me that I was going to be accepted to the high school that I wanted to go to so I can get into an honors program, learn how to speak Chinese and German and Spanish. Way back in the day, I'm 14, 15, right? And my particular coursework, it was a college preparatory class, and it was called the CISC program. I went to Martin Luther King High School in Detroit, Michigan, on the east side, Lafayette. So I got into that piece, man, and I realized that I had a knack for business. But once again, when it was prophesied, I kind of put that on the shelf for a little bit, but I always had an ability for leadership. I always had an ability to influence people, okay? So long story short, when I got to college and, started marching in the band, I'm down in Nashville, Tennessee, scholarship, whatever, I found myself in a very peculiar place, because I was recruited. I'm going to fast forward some of this. I was recruited to play trumpet at a local church there. And I started doing that, but I was still trying to raise money to do what I had to do. I had my first son by then. And I was caught in this quandary of, okay, I know I have love for God, but I got to pay my bills, right? And back then it wasn't as easy. Well, it's not easy now in no time, but at this point, you got to do what you got to do. I understand that. But here's something that happens. When I started really accepting and listening to what people or what the elders of the church at the time were saying, seek God first. He understands, he know what it is. Then ideas started to come to me, guys. And that's when I started my first legit business. It was a cleaning business. Favors Cleaning Solutions. I'll never forget it. And I used to keep a carpet cleaning machine in my van. I had an old beat up van, y'all, but hey, I was getting it, And I started my first business, you all, messed around and did a good job, man. After paying about 4 or 5, maybe 6 employees, I was bringing home almost 6, 7 grand a month. Now it was good work. Don't get me wrong. It was easy. It was simple, but it was still work. And the reason why I want to put this here, because now in my life, as I've been through all of that business, we started a real estate company down in Atlanta. Of course, we planted multiple churches, and some of them are still thriving now. People that we help do ministry. one of the most important things that I realized is that when you stop trying, or when you stop living trying to please everyone else, and you just embrace what God says, I've come to understand and realize, seriously, I've been new this, but I just want to share with you all. When I really embrace the fact that God has me in a position where I'm supposed to be a businessman and I'm supposed to help other entrepreneurs and coaches and teachers because of the life experiences that I've had, all the research that I've done, what my dissertation was on God, the entrepreneur. It just blew everybody out at the time. I was well, I ain't gonna say no name, but I was at the college in the Midwest. It's like, man, you can't write on that. That's not good. You know, if that's what you want to do, but it's man, who knew years later I was going to open my own leadership institute? Who knew that I was going to be able to teach and train hundreds and even thousands, seriously, how to trade Forex and how to trade in the markets? Who knew? I'll tell you who knew. God knew. But when it was time for me to make a decision to go that way, many people didn't agree with it. They didn't like it, but I had to stand on something that was in me. I had to stand and commit to what I knew I heard God saying. And I don't know who this is for. I'm not trying to sound preachy, but you know, it is what it is. But I suspect that some of you all listening to the sound of my voice right now need to hear that it is your time, it is your season to walk in the fullness of who God called you to be. Not who everybody else think you ought to be, but who you are called to be. It's a strong desire. It's almost like an urge. It's a pulling. It's a tugging, if you will. And if you would just listen to that voice and obey that, I promise you, everything else will work out just fine. So I said all that to say this. I know that I'm committed, dedicating my life to teaching and training other people. Anything that deals with business, leadership, obviously ministry, that's my ministry. Seriously, y'all. Ever since I've known, I've always talked about how do you blend together the business aspect and the faith aspect. Because I'm gonna tell you the truth, in seminary, we learn how to teach, learn how to preach, learn how to speak, we learn how to deliver, homiletics and hermeneutics. But one thing I didn't catch was the administration, how to keep the lights on, how to make sure that the people in the congregation are as well-to-do as the leaders in the congregation. Come on, I'm one of them guys. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. So I began to start these things. We had a restaurant called Jay's Place. We had a thrifty store because when the housing market crashed back in 2010 or 11, we had to do something. So one of my good friends was like, yo, we got to turn scholarship into dollarship. Seriously, I took it and ran with it, guys. And so that's always been in the atmosphere of my anointing, of my call, however it is. So I know without a shadow of a doubt that I'm called to serve people in the areas of business, entrepreneurship, coaching. I've learned a whole lot, guys. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see what 2025 holds for us all. If you all need some of that, I got a free piece down below for you. You ain't got to buy nothing. Ain't no money involved. All you got to do is click the link down below. And I developed a small little checklist for those of you who might be interested in seeing, okay, how do we get business? How do we do business? How do we start a business? Now, I happen to believe now going forward that for some of us, like I'm over 40 now, and y'all going to see me do some videos for that community. I'm really going to be targeting us because if you're over 40, you have a life experience, right? You've been through some things, and especially if you're a believer, right? You've been through some things, but there are people coming behind us who are going into what we just came out of. And they need your expertise. They need your skill set. They need your wisdom. They need to know about the mistakes you made so they don't have to make the same mistakes. Guys, I'm telling you, I want to build a community where we can come together and do just that. We can share our highs, our lows, and so we can speed up that 13 or that 15 to 40 year learning curve, as they say. Everything I learned within the past 20 years, from being in leadership, from pastoring, from being a bishop, pastoring other C-suite leaders, guys. I learned a whole lot, and I want to share it with you. So click that link down below. Get that little free tool, y'all. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell. And as always, guys, if you got any comments, any things that you having problems with, that you would want me to help out, that you would want me to do some information, I want to hear from you all. This is very important to me now. Very important, because I know that God has called me to do this. I still have my business. I still have things, but we're blessed and things are going fine. Okay. So I'm able to give back. This is one of the ways that I want to give back, by delivering some of you all's information, delivering to you all tips and strategies. So you don't have to learn the hard way like I did. You don't have to go through what I went through. And truth of the matter is, if I can make your life easier, I will. Okay. So with that being said, you all, hey, once again, happy holidays to you. This is Dr. Favors. Hope to hear from you. I look forward to reading your comments. We'll see you next time.